Alright. This is different. Basically, I kind of just want to do a slower paced, like, make a tune with me sort of thing today. I've been watching a little bit of Sam Sulek and some of the stuff he's been doing, and it's kind of refreshing, and people seem to like it, so hopefully, I don't know, I was wondering if I would like to make something like that, and I would like to actually just chill out and make a tune and bring you along with me. So yeah, I'm kind of just testing whether that works for my workflow or not. Because I make tunes like pretty much every day, unless I'm making videos, of course. And that could either mean starting a new one, which I did like quite a bit of last month, or it could mean finishing off a tune which I want to release. So today, what I want to do is I want to finish off... What am I finishing off? Finishing off About Love, which is a song which I started in like 2021 or something, and posted some stuff on Instagram, and people seem to like it, but I just really fucking vibe with it, and it was one of the very first like lo-fi sort of vibe things I made. But then I moved it into like not lo-fi, I guess. I kind of put my own spin on it and like added some... Oh, hang on, Emma's texting. Put my own spin on it and like added like a story, because I often find with lo-fi stuff it's lacking a bit of a story sometimes. So I naturally tried to like make a song out of it by sampling this cool video from the 1950s, which was like educating young men and women about what it was to like fall in love or whatever. But yeah, that's enough explaining of that. I mean, you can just kind of watch me do it. So what I'm kind of testing here is whether or not this fucks with my workflow, and whether or not like having a camera on and talking to you, the viewer, is like an impediment to me making cool shit. And if it is, I don't think I'll keep doing this at all. So that's kind of what I want to test, because I anticipate I might get quite self-conscious when I'm making things, because this is kind of like my safe space, you know? So hopefully nothing. Let's just see how it goes. I'm planning on releasing a lot of stuff in the next little while, both on my current Camus artist project and on another artist project, which I've been contemplating how to go about. And I made a lot of music in the beginning in Jan and Feb, and I've been finishing that stuff off so that I have like a set amount of stuff to start releasing, and then I can like get the ball rolling and like make it a very set like upload schedule, release schedule or whatever. So there are also, along with the ones I made a couple months ago, there are not a lot, but a couple songs from ages ago which I never ended up releasing. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it at the time, or like I wasn't sure where I was going with music. But now I just need to finish them and need to release them, and this is one of those tracks. Because sometimes, you know, like you can get too in your head about that sort of thing. Because this was more of a lo-fi thing, and I'd never really done something in that realm. I was kind of like, where the fuck am I going to release this? My current audience won't give a fuck about what I'm actually doing. And on this whole situation, I don't even know if I'll upload this. We'll see. I probably won't, but yeah, because I doubt anyone gives a fuck just to watch a dude in his bedroom make some tunes, but we move. I think one of the ideas of why this was cool is because I often found that I learnt a lot as a producer from watching people do the thing, and I could pull away what I needed from it rather than from tutorials where they told me what I should need. Because the thing about all of us is our experience and our skill sets are so specific to us that the teacher guy on YouTube is never going to be able to like tell you what you need to know. You're just going to have to extract those little things. That's why the Disclosure live streams during lockdown 2021 or 2020 or whatever were just so eye-opening for me. Because I was able to watch like a fucking master of his craft just go about his business and take away what I needed. And I doubt that would have been the same for anyone else. Like, different people would have taken different things. And why is it taking so long to load? Maybe with this sort of thing, I'll get less awkward with time. I just noticed you guys can't see the time. Like, you can't tell that, like, if I'm not cutting or whatever. Maybe I'm not moving my shit for you. What was the goal for today? Like, what am I trying to do? Two things. I added a bit too much and like dialed it back in 2023 because I revisited it once. And then the other one is that it needs more of a story structure, because basically I'm using this sample from this movie. It was one of the first times I'd actually sampled something, And so I kind of tried to throw in the whole thing and like make every different section different and like make a storyline in the song, but it just didn't fully work because you need repetition in music and you need like general ideas to recur. And when I was trying to throw the entire dialogue bit in, it was just like chronological, and that's not what songs sound like, and that's not how stuff works and how people like it to be. So then I did the alternative and kind of chopped it up a little bit more and tried to like throw certain phrases into multiple parts of it and just like see how stuff would go. And that didn't work either, I think, because like I lost the storyline. So I'm kind of trying to find like a happy medium. I'm trying to make it like some sort of unrequited love thing. And I think it's working, but I'm not sure about the beginning and whatever. So basically what we're trying to do today is I'm revisiting it and trying to get it completely done to mixing stage, and just everything flows in the way I would want it to. But obviously we're not going for perfection, because that's stupid and it doesn't exist. This will be an interesting video just for myself. Yeah, to have in future. I want to do a full listen through. What I often do is, with old projects when I'm revisiting them, I'll do a full listen through and get my trusty analog notes app and write down the initial things that come to mind as like being fucking terrible or things which I shouldn't change or whatever. Just initial thoughts, because with ear fatigue and all, that's pretty fucking important. Right, I've done enough talking. Stop talking a sec.
Bob, did you feel this way when you fell in love with Jean?
Oh, look. I felt that way lots of times.
Well, I don't know, Ron.
That's right. You don't know.
And speaking of love, weren't you and I going to talk about that today? Yes, we were.
Know what love really is.
You look me.
He never knew how much I loved him. I guess he never knew I existed at all.
Oh my god. That doesn't need much. That doesn't need much. Oh, I feel a bit weird because like I just got emotional and like I fucking love this song when I'm recording. So I don't know. Not gonna be doing much talking. Maybe I do talk about this. That I fucking care about that. That fucking moved me. And it reminded me of like why, like one of the reasons I fucking didn't release it. I don't know if I'd verbalized this before, but it's like because I care so much about it, and like in the years of releasing music you become accustomed to people not caring about the songs that you care about, and people like it's so fucking random, and that kind of deflated me at least a little bit for a while, being like, fuck, this shit excited me and excites me and brings me fucking life, but people don't care, and they care about the shit which that didn't bring me life, like I'm fucking like a dumb remix I make or some other stuff. So it's like you gotta be brave, man. You gotta be brave, and you gotta know that people aren't gonna care about the shit that you care about, and be like, fuck you, I'm gonna do it anyway. That's real bravery.
Get a new free sample pack that'll help you add a little bit of spice to all your beats.
Did you feel this way when you fell in love with Jean?
Oh,
Bob, did you feel this way when you fell in love with Jean?
oh, look.
Well, I don't know, Bob.
I'm sorry, Jack, but
Bob, Did you feel this way when you fell in love with Jean? Bob, did you feel this way when you fell in Bob, did you feel this way when you fell in love with Jean?
Of love. Weren't you and I going to talk about that today? Yes, we were.
Oh my god, bro. This song. It's great.
And speaking of love, weren't you and I going to talk about that today? Yes, we were.
Just like chill on the fucking delays, bro. Let me just turn this delay down.
Well then, how can I tell it?
Well, I've been in love several times before. And each time I thought,
I notice that there's more clarity in her vocal when I use a faster release.
and speaking of love, weren't you and I going to talk about that today? Yes, we were.
This just... I haven't spoken in a while. This feels more natural to me. To just like do my thing and not like talk to a camera. It pulls my mind out of it. I don't get into the flow as much. And which is not what you want to see either. If I'm constantly describing what I'm doing, it slows me the fuck down, which also means I can't get in the flow. Basically, it's all just because I can't get into the flow. This would be a great video for me to watch myself. I know.
Know what love really is. Know what love really is. Know what love really is.
Kind of. Alright. I need to pee. It's going alright. Like, this is definitely not that interesting at all. But I'm feeling okay about this whole thing. I'm going to pause it, and also because I don't have enough fucking storage on my phone. I'll pause the recordings and then do another set in a sec. Okay. Alright, we're back. As I was saying, the camera might have moved a little bit. But hopefully it's pretty similar. Got myself another copy. It's pretty cheeky when I do that. Vibes. Oh, bro, why did I do that? It's definitely not even fucking ready. Fuck. Alright, let's get back into this. Now's probably a good time to talk about it while I've just gotten back into this. When I got back into it this morning, I don't know if you've noticed, like, I was like, fuck. This doesn't need much, and it's fucking incredible. And I was just scared to release it. Because it touched me so much. So I realized when I went back in 2023, I pretty much fixed everything. Except the dialogue processing is a bit out from the rest of the track. So I needed to bring that in. But the storyline's all there, the instruments are all there, the vibe is all there, and I don't want to ruin anything. I'm just going to try and get all that dialogue to fit with like some nice delays and stuff. And as you've seen, I've like done some of that shit. Like I did some automation, volume automation on the first bit, I think. And then just like fucked with the delays. Like I was doing too much and trying to be too intentional with it. Whereas in this genre, as my experience has grown with a bit of lo-fi stuff and sampling stuff, you don't really need to be as surgical as some other genres. You can let the delays kind of just float around a bit. And also I've tried to, I felt like I went a bit Hollywood in some areas and tried to like spell it out too much. Like there, it was like the Do You Love Me? Segment was just like, I didn't need that, like here. One thing which I'm often not too sure about is whether or not I should do reverbs in the mixing stage. Well, like, because a lot of mixing engineers will do the reverbs in that stage and they'll fuck around with them. But as a producer, as the guy who like does all this shit, my songwriting and production are the same thing and they happen together. And in a similar way, like the reverbs are a creative decision pretty much all the time. Except for cleaning them up with EQs and shit. So it's like, I kind of do need to get them down in this stage, but I can't fully get them down in this stage because the way I would mix other elements and these elements in terms of like volume and like EQ and compression and fucking panning or whatever, that'd inform how much of the space or the reverb I can hear in the sound, which would then inform the way that I make creative decisions about it. Like maybe if I got rid of, like after the stuff is mixed and it's a lot cleaner and there's a lot more space, I wouldn't need such a heavy reverb to give the same feeling. The answer I've come to myself is like I gotta like get it to the feeling I want, and then when I clean it up later, we adjust for that sort of thing while still retaining the vibe that we've already created. But some of these delays still need to be done. Yeah, let's do that. I'm such a nerd. Granulator too. That's cool. That on the mini log that I use so often to synthesize sounds. Woo! Yeah.
What's wrong? Nora's the prettiest girl. Nora's the prettiest.
Oh, I don't know, Jack.
Nora's the prettiest girl I've ever known. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? I love you, Nora. Do you love me?
No? Oh, I don't know, Jack. Well then, how can I tell if
I feel like I want less high end on some of these delays. They grab my attention too much. I don't want them to.
What matters? I don't know.
and speak?
That's way better.
Nora's the prettiest girl I've ever known. And you think that's all that matters? I don't know.
And speaking of love, weren't you and I going to talk about that today? Yes, we were.
I don't.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna... Who am I talking to? What the fuck is all this automation? I'm such an overproducer. Okay, I think... I'm actually really happy with that. I think that's done. That's ready to be mixed. I'm gonna talk to you now, the viewer. I know I have a proclivity to overproduce and fucking... Like, this song has been in the works, as you've seen, for 3 years. Is it 3 years? Or is it 2 years? 2.5 years. 2 and a bit. And I've come back to it and not known what to do. And I think it's I think it's at a spot where it's fair enough to say that's ready to be mixed. That's like, doesn't need any more production. Like I said earlier with the reverbs, I feel like the mixing will inform some more creative decisions with reverbs and delays. But as far as like an actual track which is ready goes, that's good. And it's been analysis paralysis, which has kept me from releasing that in the past. I mean, it hasn't been done, to be fair to myself. I continually am reminded of why I love making tracks over long periods of time and really caring about them and putting as much as I can into it and seeing how much of a piece of art I can make it. Because, yeah, I get so much out of that and I feel so fucking satisfied by something like this that's ridiculous. So that's why I kind of want to do 2 artist projects. Because recently I've been making tracks in shorter periods of time and stop, like, not overthinking them and, like, letting them be simple. And I fucking love that. And I think it's incredible outlet which it gives me to be able to express myself without overanalyzing and taking forever to do it. But moving into that area of thinking's got me thinking like, oh bro, you can do that with all your tracks. You can just be someone who releases stuff really frequently and doesn't need to take long periods of time on stuff. But then I work on things like this and I'm like, oh, hang on. You fucking love this and you get so much fulfillment out of creating a piece of art like that. I'm really happy with this. And I'm really happy with where I'm at because having that done and ready to be mixed means I've got 5 out of 6 tracks ready to be mixed, which is fucking elite. And the one I've got to work on tomorrow and for the rest of the week is, it's pretty cool. And it harnesses like an emotion from snowboarding. And I sample like some of my fucking vlogging vibe stuff. Oh, it's so heavy. But yeah, that's for tomorrow or whenever, and I don't even know if I'll fucking film that. Who knows? Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm gonna go outside. One thing I often do with things like this, when I'm at this point and I'm like, oh, this is done, I don't need to do that. What I do is I will like get my AirPods, connect it to this, and like walk around outside while doing something else kind of, or like slightly, well, like listening, but in less of a like intense I am a producer situation. Because when I'm here in this mode, I'm like, ooh, that fucking delay needs to be high cut a bit more. When in reality, I wouldn't actually hear it, and I'd lose sight of the bigger picture. So that's what I'm going to do now. Let's do it. I think that's it. See you later.